he's good.
Questions?
He still reminds you of Devontae?
Yeah. Look, I love Devontae. Saw him this summer. Uh, Devontae's in the category by himself still, but that 17 reminds me of the other 17 as far as his ability to get out of breaks and his quick twitch at the line of scrimmage for sure.
And were you able to get together with any of the guys during the break at all in California?
I saw a few of them, but it was tough wrangling the schedules of a bunch of the guys. Allen was on vacation for a spot when I was available. I was in Tahoe when Miko was available. When I tried to get G-Dub to come out, he was in Vegas, so we didn't have a chance to all of us get together.
Alan was talking a little bit about how when he met you in Green Bay, you were a little bit more like, this has to be done this way. You're taking a little bit of a slower approach because of how many new pieces are there. Has that been a challenge for you to kind of be a little bit laid off more?
First of all, congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Trying not to have to say
And congrats on the golf with the baby, man.
you like that?
I saw that, yeah. Listen, I feel like I've grown a lot over the years. Now, some of that is the well-documented plant medicine journeys that I've talked about, but the other is perspective. As you get older, you see things a little bit clearer, I think. Hindsight is 20/20. Try and rectify some of the things that you did a certain way that you feel like you could have done better. I think it's always important to have patience in shorts and helmets, have patience the first few days of camp. Sometimes the patience can wear thin if it's repeat mistakes, but we're just building this thing right now. We want to build it the right way. And yeah, I would say maybe earlier in my career I was a little more easily angered, and I feel like I'm a little less triggered as I've gotten older.
At what point did you realize you need to be a little bit more patient?
Oh, even in the moment. I mean, I've had great coaches over the years who've, we've talked about patience, and I feel like I'm a patient person, but when it comes to ball, there's a right way of doing things and a way that's going to slow us down. So it's just communicating through all those little things, I think, that can speed up that process. Mistakes are going to happen, and you actually want them to happen at this time, but the repeat mistakes are the ones that give you a little bit of pause. That's why today we had quite a few, little issues, and now we can go back and watch them and talk about them. And as long as we fix them, though, then we're moving in the right direction. When we're not fixing those things, then we have some issues.
What were you relaying to Garrett there by the goal line? You engaged him for a few minutes there, and you looked like you were teaching or coaching.
When we were doing red zone?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we were just talking about the fact that we're getting like reps of 3, so to just take it easy. There wasn't a lot of down the field opportunities today. We're easing into this without pads on, so we're not taking like a normal lion's share of the reps, meaning 6, 7, 8 plays out of a 12 or 15 rack. So taking 3 plays at a time, there's not going to be the opportunities. So, we both want more opportunities to get him the football, and that's basically what we were talking to.
Aaron, it's been a while for this franchise. They've been in the playoffs. We had some real success. You show up, and now your teammates are starting to openly talk about the Super Bowl. What's it like for you to have those expectations put?
Yeah, it's spectacular. I mean, that's what you want. You want to be a part of a place that has high expectations, and there's a lot of positivity around here, which I think is a good thing. But we got to temper expectations early on at camp and focus on the little things to get there. It's a long season. It's a journey. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be peaks and valleys, and I think we just got to build this thing the right way. And there's a lot of excitement, though. That is fun. When I was out in Tahoe, just hearing the Jets fans and the response was pretty special. Obviously, with all the positivity comes some people looking to knock you down a little bit. There's going to be a lot of that, so we got to deal with that the right way. An old coach of mine said our greatest difficulty is going to be handling success, and I think that'll be true this year for us. As we get into the season and have some success, we've got to handle it the right way, because obviously last year they had a good start to the season and couldn't finish it off. And if we want to be playing in January, we got to be consistent throughout the season.
What was the feeling like for you reporting for training camp, flying in New Jersey instead of flying up to Wisconsin?
Yeah, a little different for sure. Everything's different. 19 years in, been a lot of training camps. All of them been at 1265 Lombardi, but showing up to one Jets drive was a little bit different. Obviously, there was a lot more cameras with Hard Knocks being here, but yeah, it's exciting.
Aaron, you've been everywhere in the area. Have you had a moment when you've encountered a Jets fan that kind of encapsulated what the fan base feels about having you here?
I think a lot of them have. I had a fun experience right before I left town. I was in downtown Manhattan, just walking on the street, as I enjoy doing. It's just, it's fun being in a big city and just feeling the energy of the city. And I had a guy who was driving, stopped and rolled his window down, yelled something at me. A guy on the stoop say something to me. I had a guy in the street, like double take, triple take, and then stop me and ask for a picture. So, I think it's exciting for everybody involved. Love seeing more Jet stuff out there when I'm walking around, and we want everybody to jump on the wagon now.
Aaron, how much do you think just the player-coach aspect of you was necessary to relax as a function of being in a new environment and having more people to teach, as opposed to it just being a necessary phase of this aspect of it in your career, and the impact it also would just have on your joy for the game and that aspect affecting your performance? Because I feel like even Kobe Bryant went through a similar aspect in the latter half of his career.
I've always been a basketball player, and when I was a young person, I remember playing or watching basketball and seeing Tree Rollins, who was a player coach. And I don't look at myself like Tree in that scenario, but I do know that being an older player on the team, that's part of the responsibility, is to teach a little bit more. Luckily, this is a great staff that Nate has hired on the offensive side of the ball. I know the offense really well. We kind of collaborated in the offseason of 2020, and this is a lot of the stuff that we did in 2020 and 2021. So it's exciting to be back in this style that I know really well. And I'm just enjoying my time with Todd and Rob in the room. And the staff is really solid on the offensive side, defense side as well, but I know the offensive side better. And I've been enjoying the conversations and testing the guys every single day, because I don't like wasting reps. So if we're going to be out here, whether it's a walkthrough rep or an individual rep, let's make sure we're getting something out of it.
Aaron, you've obviously played your entire career in a small market, relatively small market. But the
Definitely
Green Bay
small.
Packers have always had a national following. So how much do you think that national interest prepared you for New York, for this market? How do you think it'll manifest itself?
Oh, well, there's nothing like New York. So I understand that. I appreciate that. I've been in an incredible football town for 18 years. This is an incredible sports town. There's a lot of great franchises here. So I look forward to everything that comes with that. We kind of knew that they were really wanting us to be a part of Hard Knocks, and this just brings more attention to us. I don't think there's anything nefarious about the way it went down, but I'm excited about people getting to see what we're all about here, and then the interactions with you all during the weeks.
A couple more.
Alan talked to us a little bit ago and said there was an 8-hour window where he said, "What the bleep, bro?" because he didn't know if this was going to happen. I think he had already agreed to come here. Do you remember that 8 hours, and remember what he was saying or what you told him?
I probably said I was coming to New York, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Aaron, to be in one place for so long and to come to a new team at this stage of your career, reach out to like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or anyone else who's kind of been through a similar thing for advice and how to handle it.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of friends in actually multiple sports who've played long careers at certain places. I just got to spend time with my buddy Joe Pavelski, who played for the Sharks for so long, and now he's on the Stars. And there's a lot of guys like that up at Tahoe, so I enjoyed those conversations because, a lot of them have been, longtime members of a certain franchise, and then you move on. Talked to Carson Palmer about it. You know, he had a similar situation a long time in Cincinnati, not 18 years, but he talked openly about the excitement and kind of the rejuvenation he felt when he moved on from there. You know, had a stop in Oakland, but ended up going to Arizona, having a really nice end of his career. So I think it's important to bounce stuff off of those guys. I'm friendly with both Peyton and Tom. Have talked to Peyton in the past, actually, years ago, about what his transition was like, being in one organization for so long, being iconic in Indianapolis, and then going to Denver and obviously having a lot of success.
Oh, right there, here.
Aaron Rodgers was talking about how Hack's coaching style really reflects how comfortable he is in his skin. Said that he gives you a lot of freedom as players, maybe something that not every coach does. How have you seen that develop through the course of his coaching career? And you mentioned collaborating on that offense in 2021. Can you give us a couple examples?
I think when you're around Hack the first time, you're wondering if it's an act, because he's on all day long, and he loves it. But the more you're around him, the more you realize how special he is as a human, and how it is authentic, and he just loves ball and loves teaching, and he's been around his entire life with his dad, obviously being one of the masterminds of the West Coast offense, and him kind of growing up being a ball boy on various teams. He loves football, and you can't help but be inspired by that. He's, like I said, he's put together a staff which I think has the different facets of the important characteristics of coaching personalities that kind of allows guys to be themselves, and there's accountability with that freedom, which I think is very, very important, and Hack leads by example with that. It's not all, jokes and innuendos and stuff. There's a lot of accountability as well.
Aaron, as you're out there instilling what Allen called Aaron Rodgers' offense, how much would you say you're out there practicing, and how much is teachable teaching moments?
Well, listen, I'm not going to say it's my offense. It's one I've had success in for sure. But back in 2020, it was a conglomeration of what Matt wanted to run, what Hack had run in the past, and what I had run in the past, that we just kind of fit together. And this is kind of an offshoot of that, with maybe a little bit more West Coast flavor to it. But this is really Hackett's offense that I've been able to collaborate on him, with him on, and I love it. But there is a lot of teaching for sure. The other part that makes camp even more important is Mikol's been out, Makai's been out. Got to remember all these names. Conk's been out. Corey hasn't been here a whole lot. So we got to assimilate all those guys into what we're doing in short order, and we will. But like today, it was good to have see Mikol get some opportunities. Conk had a nice pass catch on on a pressure alert. So we got a lot of guys who weren't with us for a while, and Dwayne obviously is not with us right now. So we're gonna. And Brees, it's a ton of guys who are going to play time for us who just aren't a part of what we're doing or weren't in the spring. So we got to figure out a way to streamline things.
You mentioned before the importance of making mistakes out here. Some of us have been known to keep training camp stats and do that kind of stuff. What's your approach here? Are you taking chances that you wouldn't take, in a game? Are you trying to force some things just to see what they can do, what you can do?
Yes and no. I think there's a time for practices where you really should take some chances and see what you can do. I think you really want to match how you're going to play in the game to how you practice. However, there's opportunities in camp, I think, to take some extra chances, just to see where you're at, physically, what guys are capable of, and then expectations on certain route concepts to make sure guys are alert all the time they can get the football. So probably taking some more chances in camp. But you also want to be efficient. There's a lot of people here, so you want to not look like shit. But at the same time, you're going to take some chances. And look, I know in Green Bay there was always, every stat was kept, and they love keeping one-on-one reps. The offensive line and the line always hated it because it's one of the most unrealistic things. You don't have a quarterback back there. You don't have a timing, but the measurables that we do at practice, it's important to be efficient, but I'm going to take some chances for sure.
Earlier, I talked to Coach Salah about the type of man that you are. We all have asked your teammates, your coaches, how you have helped them, how they expect you to raise
Yeah, it's the energy, and I love being around the young energy, that excitement. There's a great feel to this team of guys who are young and super talented on their first contract. Many of them, obviously, Q just got paid, but when you have so many great players on rookie deals, it's pretty exciting knowing you can do something. You got a good window. It's not just a one-year thing where you can be competitive, which is fun. But yeah, man, I love coming in. I'm just sitting in the locker room just now, and I was walking out with Tim Boyle, who I love, and I just said, I spent like 10 minutes just eavesdropping on the defensive line. Anybody been around the defensive line knows they're the funniest guys in the league, and the conversation they're having is one of the most ridiculous conversations I've ever heard. But it's just fun. It keeps it light. It keeps you young. Something to look forward to in the morning. Every day I've been waking up since I've been here. It's just been exciting to come down the driveway here and come in the facility because everything's new and exciting, and you don't know what conversation you're going to eavesdrop on or who you're going to meet for the first time. Walking down the halls or seeing Nick Mangold or another famous Jet hanging out. There's a lot of fun things that have come along with this time in my life, and I'm just enjoying every moment.
Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow.
All right. See you.